Hey guys, we have gotten a lot of requests for a shoe care video about the jackboot. So today I have a little bit of time and I wanted to make it happen. This is a pair of grays jackboots. We only sold them for a short period of time, but they're pretty light in color. Some would consider them delicate, and so I thought they'd be a good one. So thanks to Nick for letting me take the shoes off his feet today, and we'll get right into it. So first step, I always take off the laces. Just makes it way easier and makes sure we can take care of the whole shoe. Okay, you can throw these in the washer if you want. If they're dirty, you can clean them up, or just put a fresh pair in if you have them. All your shoes come with 2 pairs, so you can use the opportunity to switch them out. If they're still fine, you can wash them in the washer. So now we have the shoes, no laces. Next step would be shoe trees. Shoe trees is really big for when you're caring for your shoes, just because it allows the structure to be there so that you can put pressure, you can polish and buff with a little bit of force, and the shoe trees in there to keep the structure and give you a little bit more to hold on to. Shoe trees in. These are the TAFT ones that we used to make. You can get them at Nordstrom Rack, Woodlore, for pretty cheap. If you're on Reddit, there's always shoe tree sales for like crazy prices. So wait for a holiday or a sale and pick up a few pairs. So shoelaces out, shoe trees are in. The first step for me is always a quick brush down. Brush them down, horsehair brush, the leather and the wool, just to get all the loose stuff off. You can see like little stuff coming off. That's the stuff we're just trying to take care of. The low hanging fruit that we can just brush off. So shoe trees are in, shoelaces out, we've wiped them down. This is probably the step that most people are missing. This is a TAFT wool cleaner that we've developed. We're gonna be releasing it soon. If the wool gets dirty, this will clean it. And so I'm gonna use it. I'm cheating a bit because it's not available yet. And that's what I'm gonna use to just, these are so light and a lot of great texture that there's not really anything that I'm gonna specifically treat. I'll just generally clean it. But you can also target specific spots. I have a pair of green jack boots that I wear, and I don't know what I dropped on them, but there's more of a spot kind of up by the cap toe, and you can use this. It kind of like bubbles up, kind of cool. So it's just a liquid, and you can just, it kind of, see how it soaps up a little bit? Kind of foams a bit, and just allows you to clean it. So I'm just, in general, just gonna do a wipe down. Again, nothing really wrong with it. You take good care of your shoes because they're not really dirty, but wool can always use a little wipe down. And with this wool cleaner, a little goes a long way. So I'm not going crazy with this. And the cool thing about this, if you get it on the leather, it's not gonna ruin the leather. Most upholstery cleaners will damage leather. This is okay. So I'm not taping anything off. I'm not being super careful, just because it's okay to get it on the leather sole. It's okay to get it on the leather, but I'm just gonna use it on the wool. So wipe them down. We'll let these dry and we'll take a second. Okay, so the wool cleaner's dry. Now we're gonna move on to the leather. So when we have a dark leather combined with a lighter colored wool, obviously if we take some dark brown polish and rub it on the wool, it's gonna scar the wool. And so I use painter's tape to protect the wool, and it just allows me to, it de-risks the situation from me ruining the boots. So I use painter's tape because it's gentle. You could use anything, but painter's tape is best because it's just so gentle. So I just line up the tape. Sometimes you have to break it into a few pieces. I just line up the tape with the edge of the cap toe. So there is a little bit of prep work involved, but I promise it will make your life so much easier. And I've done this a lot of times, so I'm pretty good, but you'll learn that there's a little trick to getting it there. So if you don't have any shoe trees, you can stuff the shoes with newspaper. Newspaper is really good at absorbing moisture, but really just anything, socks, anything that will help. But shoe trees are definitely the best. So in just a second, a few cents worth of tape, it will save you a lot of time. If you want to be a real all-star, you can tape off the back. I usually don't, just because it's not as visible and my pants are usually covering it, but if you have the time and you want to be super careful, go ahead and tape off down here just like you would the cap toe. I'm not going to just for time's sake, but I have in the past. So now, calfskin leather, I'm gonna take, mink oil is great. If you've been really rocking them, you can get some conditioner and cleaner. These are in pretty good condition. I'm a big fan of mink oil. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of conditioner. This is just an old t-shirt. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of conditioner just to clean it. Clean and condition the leather. Again, that tape being there is really, really helpful. So then let that dry, let the leather really absorb that product. And then when it's all really dry, room temperature, don't put it by any sort of heat source. Just let it dry at room temperature, and then we'll hit it with some polish. Okay, so these are now really dry. That kind of tackiness that can happen when it's drying, they're dry. So now I'm gonna hit it with some polish. So I'm just using a cheap, the cheap accessible Kiwi polish. It gets the job done. A lot of people ask, with our gray brown or our jackboot and brown, we have a few different shades of brown. Whether it's cognac, gray brown, whatever color. Brown it's not gonna change the color of the leather. The leather is stained and dyed and tanned to be a certain color on the base. And one layer of polish is not gonna change the color. So don't worry too much if you have the gray browns or the jackboot and brown or the Luca and cognac or the Rome boot and brown. Whatever you have, a generic brown is gonna do just fine. So just take a little bit of brown polish and in a circular motion, just begin applying it. Again, I'll show you. So if you don't have it taped off and your hand slips or something like that, that would be on the wool. So the tape, it's easy, it's safe. Take the time to tape the jackboot off. It will just make your life easier. Great, now on the back is not taped off. So I will be a bit more careful. Again, you can, if you have the time, tape it off. But these are nicks, so I'm not gonna tape them off. Right now, when you freshly polish shoes, you can really feel the wax. These are still really waxy, so I'm gonna let them sit, let them dry for a bit, and then we can proceed to buffing and kind of polishing and shining and making them pretty. So they look good. We let the polish sit and dry, and now they feel good. We can buff them. So this is just a shine cloth, not a big deal. They use a lot of like polishes will come with one of these. I even sometimes use like a really soft microfiber shirt that you might use for exercising. You can use a lot of things. It's not hard to get leather to shine. So soft microfiber. So I'm just taking it over the leather, working it up to a shine. All the wax that's in the polish, and we're kind of bringing that to a shine. Okay, so we polished them, we buffed them. I also like to hit it with a horsehair brush, just really lightly. Don't like rub all the polish off, but just real lightly on the surface. Just be really gentle, and you can get a little bit more shine out of it. They look good. So at this point, I'm gonna take the tape off. I do wanna show you guys, these are leather soles, or they're leather soles. And when you scuff on a step or you trip or whatever, you are gonna scuff up the sole. And so I wanna show you what I do, a quick way to treat that. Some of our soles, we leave them more neutral like this. This is just a natural leather color. But whether they're natural or dark, I just take a little bit of leather cleaner. It is leather. So I take a little bit of leather conditioner and just rub it along the edge of the sole. So I'll do that to both shoes. If you have a dark sole edge, you can do it with this. We can do this with the same thing you use to polish. That brown polish won't hurt. On these shoes, if we did a dark brown polish along the edge, it would, it would change the look of the shoe quite a bit. So that just pretties up the sole edge, makes them look nice. So I'm gonna take the painter's tape off now. It's not gonna damage the wool because it's so gentle, it just comes right off. So we have the shoes, they look great. I'm gonna relace them. So at this point, they're done. They look great. Just a quick review. So we took the shoelaces out, we put shoe trees in to give it that support and structure. We brushed them down, we cleaned the wool, we taped off the cap toe, we cleaned and we polished and we buffed, and we took the tape off and we laced them back up. Shoe trees are still in there. If you're not gonna wear them, leave shoe trees in. If you don't have a pair of shoe trees, I highly recommend them. When you're buying this quality of shoe, you should absolutely have shoe trees. So they look great. When I design shoes, I try and utilize unique stuff. Lots of cool suedes. We custom develop leathers and suedes and wools with mills and tanneries. And so I know that some people may be concerned about how to care for the jack boot because it's not just all leather, it's very different, and the mixture of wool and leather can be tricky. So hopefully this helps. The wool cleaner, we're coming out with our own. So I'm sure we're gonna get hit up a lot, like where do I find a wool cleaner? It's coming soon, and so you can find it here. Shoe trees, again, you can just go really anywhere. Look for the spring-loaded and the split toe to make sure that you're filling out that toe box and really filling out the length of the shoe. So hopefully this helps. I hope you love your jack boots. They're a special shoe. They're gonna get compliments, and now you know how to take care of them. So thanks.